The bleak, wind-swept tarmac of Skridstrup Air Base in southern Jutland presents a deceptive image of tranquility. As the newest batch of F-35 Lightning II stealth fighters settles into their hangars, they represent the apex of Danish military modernization. With the government's decision in October 2025 to procure an additional 16 aircraft, raising the total planned fleet to 43 units, Copenhagen has signaled an absolute commitment to this fifth-generation platform. The price tag for this latest tranche alone stands at approximately 29 billion Danish kroner, a figure that underscores the magnitude of the investment. However, beneath the polished composite skin of these advanced machines lies a complex geopolitical paradox that is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore, particularly when viewed from the icy vantage point of Greenland. Recent developments in the Arctic have shifted the conversation from simple military procurement to a profound question of national sovereignty. As of January 2026, the strategic landscape has altered significantly. The United States has formally transferred administrative control of the Pituffik Space Base, formerly known as Thule Air Base, from the European Command to USNORTHCOM. This bureaucratic reshuffle is far from trivial. It signals that Washington no longer views Greenland merely as a forward operating position in Europe, but as an integral component of North American homeland defense. This shift was underscored on January 20th, 2026, when the U.S. deployed additional aircraft to Pituffik under the banner of NORAD, accompanied by leaked reports regarding the Golden Dome Missile Defense Initiative. In this context, the F-35 acquisition presents itself as a double-edged sword. On one side, it acts as a formidable shield. The aircraft offers undisputed technological superiority, granting the Royal Danish Air Force capabilities in stealth, sensor fusion, and situational awareness that are unmatched by any potential adversary in the High North. Furthermore, the industrial logic behind the purchase remains robust. Terma, the crown jewel of the Danish defense industry, manufactures over 80 mission-critical components for the global F-35 fleet, ranging from composite skins to radar electronics. The program is not merely a defense expenditure, but a cornerstone of high-tech industrial employment in Jutland. By integrating so deeply into the American military-industrial complex, Denmark secures its status as a Tier-1 partner within NATO, theoretically ensuring that Copenhagen retains a voice at the table when security decisions are made in Washington. Yet, a critical analysis reveals that this shield may function equally as a set of shackles. The primary concern is operational sovereignty. The geography of the Kingdom of Denmark is vast, and the operational range of the F-35, while sufficient for the European theater, is challenged by the tyranny of distance in the Arctic. To conduct effective long-endurance patrols from bases like Kangerlussuaq or Pituffik, the Danish F-35 fleet requires aerial refueling support. Currently, Denmark lacks this independent capability and relies heavily on American tanker assets. This dependency creates a scenario where Danish sovereignty enforcement is technically contingent on American logistical goodwill. Should Copenhagen wish to assert a position in the Arctic that conflicts with American interests, the United States holds the logistical veto power simply by withholding refueling support, effectively grounding the Danish fleet or limiting it to coastal defense. Beyond the physical limitations, the digital tether creates a more subtle vulnerability. The F-35 operates on a cloud-based logistics and sustainment network, the ODIN system, which replaced the earlier Alice. While designed to streamline maintenance, this system ultimately funnels data back to servers controlled by the manufacturer and the U.S. military. This raises uncomfortable questions regarding data sovereignty. In a crisis where Danish and American interests diverge, there is ambiguity about whether the Royal Danish Air Force retains full, independent control over its flight data and mission profiles, or if the Pentagon possesses a superior oversight capacity regarding the readiness of Danish assets than the Danish Defense Command itself. The economic implications further complicate this strategic autonomy. The sheer scale of the investment creates a lock-in effect. By committing nearly the entirety of the capital investment budget to the F-35 program for the next 3 decades, Denmark has effectively crowded out alternative procurement options. Unlike Sweden, which maintains a high degree of autonomy through its domestic Gripen program, or France with its Rafale ecosystem, Denmark has chosen a path of total integration. While this ensures interoperability, it strips Copenhagen of the leverage that comes with having an independent Plan B. The result is a negotiating position that relies on goodwill rather than structural power. This power asymmetry was starkly illustrated following the American surge at Pituffik in early 2026. The Danish response, a deployment of 58 soldiers to Greenland to assert sovereignty, appeared symbolically potent but militarily negligible when juxtaposed against the expanding American footprint. It highlights the central dilemma. Denmark possesses a world-class air force that is technically integrated into a US-led command structure, rendering it potentially ineffective as a tool for independent political signaling against the United States itself. The path forward for Danish policymakers requires a shift in thinking, moving away from a focus on kinetic power toward asymmetric information dominance. While the F-35 is an excellent platform for conflict, the daily reality of the Arctic requires surveillance and presence rather than stealth combat. The recent moves to acquire systems like the TPY-4 radar in coordination with Nordic neighbors suggest a recognition of this reality. True strategic autonomy in Greenland may not come from the barrel of a gun or the missile bay of a fighter jet, but from the ability to see and analyze the battle space independently. If Denmark relies solely on American radars and American satellites to tell it what is happening in its own territory, sovereignty becomes a hollow concept. Therefore, the priority must be to develop an independent sensor network, drones, satellites, and surface radars. That allows Copenhagen to generate its own intelligence picture. Only by owning the data can Denmark effectively manage its relationship with the United States. The F-35 is a powerful asset, but without a complementary strategy that emphasizes independent surveillance and logistical self-sufficiency, it risks becoming a luxury rental car parked in a garage owned by someone else. The challenge for the Danish government is to ensure that the billions spent on these aircraft translate into genuine national security, rather than merely subsidizing the perimeter defense of the North American continent.